Good morning, I'm Kabiri Mutamba alongside Kate Vernon. Today, we bring coverage of the aftermath of a devastating shooting in Iowa City that occurred in the early morning hours yesterday.
5 people were shot in downtown Iowa City, right on the pedestrian mall, 3 of which were University of Iowa students.
And we're still learning more as details emerge, but we have team coverage across Iowa City bringing you what we know. We'll start things off with DITV's Hannah Fideli. Hannah, what can you tell us about what you're seeing now and what happened that night?
That's right, I'm live in the Ped Mall. It's sunny this morning. People are going about their day. You know, the birds are chirping. There's a field trip, it looks like, at the park. And it's surreal and eerie to say that people are just going about their day as usual. It's been just over 24 hours since violence rocked the Iowa City and University of Iowa communities. And DITV, all of us here have been working around the clock to bring you all the latest on the horrific events that took place on the streets right here. Now, I'm going to take you through exactly what happened that night. So we're at Reunion Brewery right now. A group of people were coming out of the bar, you know, right at bar close, mingling with each other, hanging out, talking, making their way home, going to get a bite to eat. And that's when another group of people was waiting right outside. It's unknown the relationship if they even knew each other. A major fight ensues with multiple people involved. The fight makes its way through the middle of the Ped Mall, all the way down to Wells Fargo right there, right in front of that red sign. Well, you'll see in a video later. The violence escalates, the shoving continues, there's punches thrown, more people get involved. We hear yelling, we hear screaming, and that's when the fight makes its way all the way down to the center of the Ped Mall again, to right in front of TCB Bar right here. The violence gets even bigger, and that's when more people are trying to get involved to break up the fight. And then you'll see later in a video, a man gets his head smacked into that corner curb right there. Shortly after, that's when the shots rang out. I'm going to warn you, the videos you're about to see are graphic and very difficult to watch.
It was a normal Saturday night in Iowa City. The downtown was bustling and full of life. Around bar close, people were making their way home, chatting in the Ped Mall, and getting food at some of the local late-night hotspots. And that's when fun and carefree turned to fight or flight. A huge fight with multiple people broke out in front of Reunion Brewery. The scuffle traveled down to Wells Fargo and then right outside of TCB, when all of a sudden, gunshots rang out. People dropping to the ground to avoid bullets and running for their lives. 5 people are injured. 3 of them are University of Iowa students. UIHC has said 4 of them are stable, and 1 is in critical condition. Officers responded to the scene at around 1:45 a.m., and by then, shots were fired. 5 minutes after, the Hawk Alert System sent out the first of several alerts to the University of Iowa community, keeping people up to date on the situation throughout the next day. 5 persons of interest have been announced, and the Iowa City Police Department is asking for help in identifying them. No arrests have been made in the shooting.
There's still a lot of unknowns right now. We still don't even know if the shooter was inside any of the downtown establishments. And we're waiting to hear about the condition of that one person who is in critical condition. And we're hoping that everything's going to turn out all right. It's weird to be here, even though I wasn't here that night, to just walk on these streets, seeing what happened. It's weird just to see people go about their day. But with me, I have DITV's Colin Carithers, who's also covering the story this morning, and he's going to take us through with actual live testimonials from people who were right in this very spot when the shots rang out. Colin?
Absolutely, Hannah. You're correct with the fact that the weight of this event is still being felt early here today, just over 24 hours after everything happened. Our team has been talking to different students that just share that it's surreal that this happened in their downtown, in the Ped Mall, an area that they consistently feel so safe in, and something so violent happened. But as you mentioned, I am joined now by 2 of our very own Linda Lacco and Avery Evans, who were actually here that Sunday morning. Guys, thank you for sharing some time with us. We'll start with you, Avery. Just walk us through what you saw right then.
Yeah, so we were just casually walking through the downtown area right on this side outside of Reunion when the fight broke out. And unfortunately, my memory is just all in bits and pieces now from the event. But immediately we heard around 4 or 5 gunshots, and Linda told us to get down, get down. And once the shots kind of rang out, we stood up and just started running across the street to the inside of the old Capitol Mall. And once we were inside, the initial shock of it all just turned to emotion. We were just started to get very emotional about the whole thing.
Absolutely, and I know that this doesn't just end here. It continued on your guys' walks home. Linda, if you could just describe what you saw then walking out of here.
No, yeah. I just remember after we ran inside the Capitol Mall, my initial thought was making sure everyone was okay, because it was a lot. We did the running, we did the scream. There was screaming, fighting. It was a lot. I remember being in the mall. It was just me, Alexis, and Avery, and I'm making sure they're okay. I'm like, hey, we just got to get home. I had to make sure those two went back. So then I remember calling my friend. I'm like, hey, I can't walk home by myself. Like, I need you here with me. We separated. I met up with one of my friends, and then walking back over to the west side, we see a group of guys like on the bridge. So didn't think anything of it. And then when we're walking past, I realized one of them is my cousin. And I'm looking at him like, are you okay? Were you there? And he was like, yeah, we were at Utopia. I remember giving him a hug. I'm like, I'm so glad you're okay. And then I remember seeing the ambulance like driving past, and like in a split second, I literally see like through the window like one of the paramedics like giving like the victim like CPR or something. It looked very hectic inside that ambulance, and it was just like I just remember coming back into my room and just sitting on the floor, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? I just had a time to. I just wanted to have a night with my friends, and I ended up fighting, like flying for my life. I was like, okay, that's great. But yeah.
Absolutely. I know this is your guys' first time being back here outside Reunion at the Penn Mall since everything happened. If you guys could just convey what you felt as we walked up here a little bit ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly surreal to be back here today. I used to always walk down this area, always feeling safe, never expecting that anything so tragic could happen here. And I know many others feel the same way. People will just come here and just to hang out and talk. And so being back here really sets in all the emotions that I felt early Sunday morning.
I didn't realize how my emotions got heightened. People kept asking me if I was okay. I kept telling them I was okay. Being back here just kind of sucks. Yeah. Just like looking, like we were here like not even 24 hours, 48 hours ago, and just like looking back, seeing the play-by-play of like dealing with everything, I didn't think I had that many emotions. But I'm glad you guys are okay. I'm glad the people got out of there safe, and I really hope the victims are okay. But yeah.
Well, I thank you guys for sharing your side of the story, being so strong, and obviously very, very glad that you guys are okay. We want to remind people that the university has plenty of resources for student support as they go and try to process these difficult events. As you can see, hopefully on your screen now, here are the resources that are available. We also had DITV's Liz Schultz speak to other students that were here that Sunday morning who shared their initial reactions, similar to your guys's, that those feelings are still creeping in to these early Monday hours. Some of the videos you were about to see contain graphic material, and viewer discretion is advised.
That was the sound of gunfire and panic, captured by a student at the scene of the shooting early Sunday morning. It happened at the pedestrian mall, right next to the University of Iowa campus.
My heart drops, and I'm like, I don't exactly know what to do. Like, people I was with, we grabbed each other, we kept walking, there's people around us running, screaming.
Ellie Mangold is a UI student who was there that night. She, along with many others, is still processing what happened.
It was absolutely terrifying. So many what ifs. If I would have taken the extra 2 minutes to run to the restroom before any of this, we would have actually been in the middle of the entire fight and the shooting.
What started as a night out quickly turned into fear after gunfire erupted, leaving 5 people injured, including 3 UI students. One student who works at University of Iowa hospitals and clinics who asked to remain anonymous says she saw the victims firsthand.
Listening to her side of the story and her point of view, it just was so sad because she just was out with her friends, and now their lives for the rest of their lives are kind of changed from this moment.
And students remain with heavy hearts.
Knowing that something like that happened here, and I was here to witness that, is just really insane.
I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to be able to be here today.
There was no reason for these people to be in the positions that they're in.
University leaders are also acknowledging that fear. In a message to students, President Barbara Wilson saying in part, "Moments like this can feel overwhelming and make a large campus feel suddenly very small." Student government is also responding, emphasizing support and community as many students lean on each other in the aftermath. And as the investigation continues, students say their focus is now on staying safe and supporting one another.
Our hearts remain very, very heavy as our thoughts remain with the students, faculty, all those affected in this situation. We'll keep you up with the latest information that we get here on DITV, but for now, from the downtown area, Colin Crithers, DITV.
Thank you, Colin. And as he said, we want to remind all students, faculty, and staff that the university has support resources available for anyone who needs help or someone to talk to during this difficult moment.
You can reach out to the University Counseling Service, Student Care and Assistance, Employee Assistance Program, and the 24-hour crisis and support line at the numbers you see on your screen. This event has brought up many emotions for the Iowa City community, so please don't hesitate to use any of these resources if and when you need to. We're in this together as a Hawkeye community.
But members of the University of Iowa community aren't the only ones reeling in the aftermath. Local government officials are also reacting to the shooter, sharing their emotions on the tragedy.
Johnson County Supervisor Mandy Remington has stated that she is thinking of the victims, their families, and community members. Mayor Bruce Teague has also expressed his condolences, calling the shooting a tragic act of violence. He says, quote, "The city of Iowa City is committed to the safety and well-being of our entire community. Violence has no place here," end quote.
But even outside of Johnson County and across the entire nation, we are seeing strong reactions to the shooting. Walk with me here. Many politicians are voicing their condolences to the victims' families on social media. Governor Kim Reynolds, as you can see right here behind me, stated that these senseless acts of violence are devastating to both the University of Iowa and the state as a whole. She is assuring the UI that the state can provide full resources to help with this ongoing investigation. And our U.S. Representative Marionette Miller-Meeks for District 1 also went on social media addressing the tragedy. Miller-Meeks took the time to thank the first responders for their quick response and for keeping students and Iowa residents safe. She states, quote, "Kurt and I are praying for their full recovery while keeping the victims, their families, and our Hawkeye community close in our thoughts," end quote. But Sunday morning was not the first incident of a shooting near the University of Iowa campus. Let's send it over to Ryan Lynch, who's live outside of Van Allen Hall to refresh us on another tragedy that happened right here at the University of Iowa. Ryan?
This moment brings up some devastating history for Iowa City. November 1st will mark 35 years since the 1991 shooting at Van Allen and Jessup Hall. It was a devastating mass shooting that killed 4 UI faculty and a student. Another student was paralyzed in the attack. The massacre ended after the shooter, former graduate student Gang Liu, died after killing himself in Jessup Hall. It's said Liu committed the shooting after he didn't win an award for his dissertation. To this day, it is still the deadliest school shooting in Iowa history. And most recently, shots were fired during classes on November 7th last semester. The incident occurring last semester near Burlington and Governor Street was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Multiple hawk alerts were sent out throughout the incident regarding the location of the shooter and instructing students to shelter in place. After 45 minutes of panic on campus, a final alert was given that there was no ongoing threat to the public. Thankfully, no one was shot in the incident. And these instances are just a reminder that gun violence in our community could happen at any time. Live from Van Allen Hall, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
Thank you, Ryan. And something to note is that shootings in Iowa City are historically rare compared to other cities. In Iowa City, as you can see, there were only 7 shootings in 2024. This was about a 50% decrease from the year before, which resulted in 15 shootings. In total, shootings have had a large decline since 57 in 2020. There is no data to account for 2025 at the moment. The last shooting at the Ped Mall was 9 years ago in 2017. 3 injured, 1 died. The entire state of Iowa is also considered to be one of the safest states. In 2023, Iowa ranked the 10th lowest for gun death, the highest being Mississippi.
But even as Iowa City attempts to recoup from this tragedy, the gun violence continues. Across America, a Louisiana neighborhood witnessed terror as 31-year-old Shamar Elkins shot and killed 8 children ages 1 through 14 Sunday morning, 7 of which were his own. 2 other people were shot in the act as well. The domestic attack was carried out through 2 houses in the Shreveport neighborhood. The gunman attempted to escape the scene through vehicle theft, but was killed by police in the process. The motivations of the attack remain unknown as authorities wait for more information. This mass shooting was the deadliest America has seen in more than 2 years.
And the University of Iowa community is speaking out against these recent shootings with protest. Organizers are attempting to come together for a no guns protest today at noon in Hubbard Park. There aren't many details on the event, but organizers said in a social media post that Iowa City is for peace. It's also a somber reminder on the prevalence of gun violence in our country.
And at this time, we at DITV offer our thoughts and our love to the victims. This is a difficult and tragic time for the city, and it is important to lean on the ones you love.
Hug each other a little bit tighter today and remember that no one should have to go through this alone. From all of us at DITV, we send our condolences to the community.
And we thank you for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
And again, all of us at DITV are sending our thoughts and our love to the Iowa City community.
And we understand it's a hard time to be a Hawkeye, but we're all in this together.
We are Iowa strong.
And we will see you again live on Wednesday morning right here on DITV.
And for the final moments of our show, we'll have resources available on your screen. Take a photo, share it with your friends. You are not alone.